Welcome back to the place where we study the heartbeat of celebrity lives, where rumor is sifted until only the steady pulse of truth remains. You are watching Turkish series stars. For weeks, a dense fog has circled around two of the most cherished figures in our universe, Çağatay and Hazal. Day after day, we've seen shadows thrown across their history together, as if the light they cast had become too bright for some to bear. The digital world has filled like a storm drain with artificial narratives, crafted with surgical precision to erode public faith in their connection. Morning after morning, headlines piled up like cold stones, whispers of envy, the grinding pressure of career peaks, talk of a split creeping closer, or, depending on which shaky storyteller you trusted, a secret rupture already sealed away from view. The drumbeat was always the same: success had become their enemy, ambition eclipsed tenderness. Small misreadings had ossified into towering barricades. Even those who believed most fiercely in the power of their bond began to feel a tremor of doubt. Could outside noise finally be chewing through the foundation they had built? But as the noise rose, we forgot a simple law of life: when roots run deep, wind can tangle branches without toppling the tree. And just when the night felt impenetrable, a beam cut through. It wasn't a paparazzo's glare or a studio's spot. It came from the quiet center of home, where truth speaks softly and does not need to shout. Today on Turkish series stars, we are unfolding the intervention that brought the runaway carousel of gossip to a halt. We are examining the words of a father who stepped forward without fury, with a stillness that changes rooms, and in doing so, redrew the map ahead for Çağatay and Hazal. Before we cross into that pivotal moment, a question for you, the lifeblood of this community. In modern love, how much weight does a partner's family approval carry? Is it the bedrock, or does the couple stand alone? If you value these thoughtful explorations of the real lives behind the spotlights, make sure you are subscribed to Turkish series stars. And if you want to help us keep telling these stories with care and nuance, the join button waits just below. Your membership keeps this sanctuary of honesty alive. Now, listen with us to the voice that shifted the ground. The quiet hero of this chapter is not a man who seeks the brash glow of publicity. He does not polish himself for the cameras in sleek suits, nor does he memorize lines crafted by a publicist. He is Çağatay's father, a traditional patriarch with unassuming dignity, who has watched the spectacle around his son from a respectful distance, guarding his household as a refuge from the noise. Yet there comes a time when silence is no longer noble; it becomes permission for falsehoods to grow. Tired of hearing stories multiply like a contagion, and weary of witnessing his family name dragged into the mud of baseless chatter, he chose to speak. When he stepped into the light, he didn't swing with threats. He spoke with the calm certainty of someone who knows exactly where truth lives. In an exclusive exchange offered to slow the gallop of rumor and bring it to a full stop, his words rang with the crisp clarity of a bell at midnight. "I have listened to enough nonsense on screens and timelines to last a lifetime," he began, grounding his message not only as a defense of his son but as a defense of reality itself. And then came the sentence that will echo for years among fans and observers: "No one understands my son's heart the way I do." Çağatay would never turn his back on Hazal; she is the missing piece that makes him whole. Sit with that image. He did not call Hazal Kaya by the neutral labels of the public sphere. He spoke as if love were an element that completes an equation, a presence that shifts existence from incomplete to complete. In a culture where elders carry moral weight and the family's word is still a compass, a father's declaration of this nature is not public relations. It is a blessing. It is a seal stating that this love is not merely a brief chapter in Çağatay's life, it is the larger narrative. But the patriarch was not finished clearing the air. He turned toward the whispers about friction between Hazal and the Ulusoy family. With warmth you could feel through the syllables, he spoke the way a father speaks about someone welcomed across the threshold of home. "She is not just my son's beloved," he said, gentle but firm. "To us, she is already like a daughter. She is sincere and decent, and with her around, my son's heart finally rests." With that, he sliced through the cynicism that tried to cast them as opponents. Publicly calling her a daughter is no small gesture. It opens the inner door. It says, you are covered by us, protected by the name, in a way that is not ceremonial but real. This is potent. It is rare to witness a parent make such a conclusive, protective move in the public eye. It shifts the entire silhouette of their story. Before we arrive at the intimate memory he chose to share, and the couple's emotional response, tap that like button if this resonates with you. It helps us beat the algorithm's fog and carry this clarity further. And remember, our Join members receive special access on our Community tab where we unpack these stories in more depth. We would be honored to have you with us. After those sweeping statements, Çağatay's father grounded his testimony in something that only years of living can teach. Whatever hurdles they face are ordinary, the same challenges any two people meet as they learn and grow. Their love is broader than any rough patch. In an era obsessed with flawless polish, acknowledging that small disputes happen, and insisting their love towers higher, is the most honest message possible. It rang true precisely because it made no claim to perfection. Perhaps the most affecting moment, however, was the private memory he shared, a scene no intrusive lens could have captured. He described catching sight of Çağatay and Hazal a few days earlier in the family garden. Picture it. Late sunlight slipping through leaves, a faint wind moving the branches, two people side by side inside a ring of quiet. I saw their hands intertwined, heard them murmuring about what comes next, he recounted, and you could hear him smile. There was a light in their eyes no one can manufacture. The way they looked told me it won't be broken, by nothing and no one. That vignette, a simple, unadorned walk through a private orchard of trust, landed like a poem. They were not performing. No audience. Only two hearts certain of the home they'd found in one another. Once those words met the air, cameras rushed to find Çağatay Ulusoy. They spotted him leaving a set, shoulders heavy with long hours. When reporters read out his father's message, onlookers say you could see the change cross his face. The tightness of weeks fell away, something gentler rose in its place. His eyes shone, and he laughed the bright laugh of a son who feels the iron in his spine return. My father has always been my compass, he told the microphones, voice unsteady just enough to reveal the depth underneath. He knows me better than anyone. If he says I won't walk away from Hazal, it's because he's describing the truth. She is my haven and my calm. Don't feed on lies. We're in a good place, better than before. To call her a haven is not casual language for a man sailing the choppy waters of fame. A haven is where you dock for safety, for breath, for repair. He told the world, clearly, where his peace resides. And what of Hazal Kaya, the woman whose poise under pressure has impressed even her skeptics? Moments later, reporters found her. She did not hide the glow of being publicly embraced by his family. There is a particular relief that comes from knowing the people who raised the person you love open their arms to you. She answered with the gentleness and gratitude that have long defined her public aura. Feeling the support of Çağatay's family is a gift, she said. His father is wise, and I respect him deeply. His words strengthened me. The bond between us will not break. Notice the choice of words, will not break. It is not tentative. It is a firm line drawn in a shifting landscape, a promise made with both romance and respect for the traditions that transform a pair into a household. But the story didn't end with microphones on a sidewalk. Our most trusted sources confirm that in the wake of this rush of honest emotion, the couple hosted a small, intensely private dinner as a gesture of gratitude to Çağatay's father. Imagine the room, a table glowing with soft light, safely away from flashbulbs. Plates that taste like childhood, laughter leaping like sparks, embraces that say more than a speech ever could. Those present whisper that the evening carried the hum of a quiet victory. The relief that arrives when truth wins the last round over suspicion. At one point, we're told, Çağatay stood with a glass in his hand and turned toward his father. His voice steady, his eyes bright, he said, Thank you for reminding the world what my heart already knows. Some insist they saw a tear he chose not to chase away. That dinner was not just a meal. It was ritual. It was a promise renewed. It was a family selecting unity over noise. Once again, Çağatay and Hazal have shown that they are not simply stars adored for on-screen electricity. They are two people who keep choosing each other every day, fortified by the strength of a family standing behind them. Today's blessing from a father was the balm for fans and the shield the couple deserved. The outlets that worked to wedge them apart will have to edit their favorite script. He will not leave her. She will not leave him. A man who knows his son's soul has spoken, and his certainty is the chorus many of us will quietly sing. This chapter has tilted their public image into a new register. They no longer read as only a beloved duo, they resemble a household taking shape before our eyes. Look to the horizon with us, we foresee sunlit scenes for the Ulusoy Kaya story. Thank you for standing with us for this moment of clarity on Turkish series stars. If you believe in the power of family support to still the noise, tell us your thoughts below. And please consider clicking join to become a vital part of our storytelling family. Until we meet again, may your own roots run deep enough to hold fast in any wind, and may the voices that matter most speak with the calm that makes truth impossible to ignore.